scammy. Yeah, we getting money. Yeah, we getting paid. You forever being mad. We a whammy. Cause he a scammy. One of my co-workers. I mean, not my co-workers, but one of the police from the police department that works in my building just pulled up on the side of me. Nosy MF. Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, first story up, the Cannes Film Festival. When did it become such a disaster? Why is it that they keep harassing? It feels like they're harassing people of color on the red carpet. Okay. We know last year at the Cannes Film Festival, we had Kelly Rowland have to go off on the people when she was trying to go up the stairs, you know, the red carpeted stairs. We had that other black woman. I think there was a Chinese woman that had some issue. There were like 4, minority raced people that had issue with the security. I mean, the security at Cannes, we never had those issues before. All of a sudden now, these last couple of years, people are being rushed up the stairs. There are some celebrities, obviously, that they let languish on the stairs. It be on there for could be 15 minutes, and then they have other people that they try to rush through. And we saw it last year, them all getting into it with the photogs and the security and all this yelling and screaming. And Kelly doesn't do nothing. She has to be the most mildest mannered, sweet girl. And to see her going off on those people, we have never heard or seen Kelly do nothing like that. We already knew that it was some bullshit, This year, we got Denzel Washington. The Denzel Washington. We have never heard nothing bad about Denzel along these type of lines. Okay, we have never heard nothing like this, and here we go seeing Denzel. He ain't been up on that fucking red carpet 10 minutes and they already was harassing the man. Okay, he actually got into it with a photographer. We didn't know what they were getting into it about before, but we did find out that apparently one of the photographers grabbed Denzel Washington grabbed him on the red carpet. He was there for Spike Lee has this new film called Highest to Lowest, and it stars Denzel, and it has A$AP Rocky, and you saw all of the people that were there. And side note, did you see how beautiful Rihanna and A$AP Rocky lived on those stairs? Now, they let them stay on them stairs a long time, okay? And they just, I love them. I love them so much. Let A$AP Rocky cut that hair. Let him cut that hair. Child, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over. But I love them. But anyway, so the photographer must have grabbed Denzel, okay, and was like roughing him around or whatever. And so Denzel had to go up to him. I could read his mouth, and I kept seeing him say, "Stop it." And him like going back and forth to the person. The photographers were like laughing and shit like they were joking, but Denzel was not joking, and he was ready to whoop some ass. Now, I know Denzel knows better. You could tell he was making sure that he checked himself, but he had to make sure that he got his point across first. A$AP Rocky went over there first to kind of like try to get him, but it was more like, nigga, get off of me, son. I got this. Okay, I'm grown. I'm not gonna act no fool yet. And still, this man still need to know, don't be grabbing on me. So they got past it. But then there was all this talk afterwards about how the fact that Denzel didn't do any of the press after they watched the movie, that they said they got a 6.5 minute standing ovation for it. They saying that that's how great the movie is. I'm hoping that movie does well, and that it gets some Oscar nominations. I can't wait for it to come out. But anyway, they said that after the movie was done, you know, Denzel left. And he did not, there was a press event the next day, and people were saying that, you know, Denzel was pissed about being manhandled by the photographers, and that's the reason why he decided not to do any of the press, because even, I guess, after that movie that they had screened, he still didn't do any press, and they're saying that they thought it was because he was avoiding being asked what happened between him and the photographers. But his people came out and said, oh no, that is not what the case was. The photographers did not run Denzel off. It was already planned that he was not going to do any press, that he was just coming for the screening, and that he was leaving. He had other obligations, and that was weeks prior. They had already set that up, and all parties involved knew that. So they had nothing to do with that shit. Okay, so don't be sitting up here thinking that Denzel got ran off by some photographers, because that is not the case. Denzel said he is a grown-ass man, and he will let you and anybody else know, don't be fucking pulling on me. I ain't mad. Okay, so that's what that was about. But yeah, Cannes gonna have to do something about this, because this has happened. This is the second year that has happened. It's just going to continue. Okay, and if it does, I would even be willing to make the call, like people listening to me. Roxanne said, don't go over there no more. But I really would say, like, why go over there if you not, go where you're celebrated, right? Don't go over there where these people gonna be harassing you and shit. I would boycott that shit. They need to do something about that. Get them people off of there, or racist ass. It feels like they racist. Okay, selective racists, because of course we got to think about those people that think that all black people is fucked up except for the ones that are rich, you know. So that's that on that. But yeah, when I saw that video, I said, oh yeah, honey, I saw Denzel had to do something to me, and real fast, Denzel was not playing. Okay, that was a Capricorn moment. Like, we gonna get it straight. We ain't getting in no shit, but we still gonna get it straight. Don't do that shit. Let's move on to the next story. Oh, did you guys see the video when I had posted it on Instagram on my stories of Pauletta? Beautiful. Why do they not make her look like that on Reasonable Doubt? I mean, she looked absolutely beautiful. I think it was like a Mother's Day post or something surrounding Mother's Day. But I mean, absolutely beautiful. They make that lady look like a old woman on Reasonable Doubt. Anyway, child, let me move on. Klarna apparently is in debt. Did you guys know that? I'm gonna tell you something. You about to fuck it up. You about to fuck up the thing, because Klarna, Afterpay, there's so many different Afterpay apps and programs now that you can sign up for, which is basically layaway. It's basically layaway, but you get the object ahead of time. Back in the day when when we ain't had no money, we had layaway. You didn't get the shit ahead of time, okay? You didn't get your shit until you paid your obligation off. Now they've got these apps where you can take out a quick loan, they can pay it, and then you pay these people back with a little bit of interest, okay? And I was like, hey, that ain't too bad for like these big ticket items. You know you want it. You don't want to put it on your credit card, you know, but you still want to pay monthly, but you know you want to pay it off within a year or something like that. Those Afterpay programs are good for those type of things, okay? The Afterpay programs ain't really for like when a motherfucker just need to go to the grocery store and pick up a few things and put it on Afterpay, and then next thing you know, you got 15 Afterpays all set up. You can't keep track of them. Every time you turn around, you got to make a fucking payment, you know, all that. People abuse the whole system, and now the shit is fucked up, and now they saying that Klarna's in debt. And I was like, y'all gonna mess it up to the point where now these companies gonna go out of business. Because now Klarna is saying that they done loaned all this money out, and you motherfuckers, not my Roxstars, but the other motherfuckers out there is not paying they damn bill. And I'm telling you, that Afterpay thing is a godsend, okay? Because it doesn't even show up on your credit unless you default on it, you know? So if you can just be right on your Afterpay programs, you know, it's not going to interrupt your credit. You're going to be able to do what you need to do, but you need to, if you said that you're going to do it, then you need to pay this damn bill, okay? Because next thing you know, they're going to all be gone. And then if they're all gone, then what? You're going to just you just got to resort to putting it on your credit card. All right? They was trying to help y'all, but y'all can't get. One of my friends was like, girl, I was trying to get my money back from a firm because there was this, that, and it was all these problems. And I was like, what was it for? You know, because she was, and it was for like $80. I was like, what the fuck you putting $80 on the firm for? Girl, a firm is not for that. Okay, so yeah, don't do that, y'all. Put the shit, like, I just bought the bed. I mean, I'm telling y'all about my business, but anyway, I bought my bed. It was like $1,800. It was so not in the plans of buying that fucking bed, okay? But bought the bed, put it on the Afterpay. All right? All's well that ends well. I got my bed, I paid my shit. Okay? I'm gonna need y'all to pay y'all shit. Pay your shit. Let's not get rid of these companies, because we need them. But they're gonna go if y'all don't stop doing what you need. Y'all don't do what you need to do. They're gonna fuck it up for everybody. Shit. Next story. So Sheren Copes. She would be Apollo's estranged wife, soon to be his ex-wife, because they are going through divorce. We know that she filed for divorce in February of this year after they had a run-in at the house. Remember I told you guys about that? They kind of had a little tussle over the phone. He took her phone, she ran outside and went to the neighbors and called the police and blah blah blah. Okay, well, apparently she's moved out the house, and she is now serious. She's getting a divorce. She says that although Apollo would still love to be with her, he sends her text messages all the time, you know, and she did post the text messages of him saying how much he loves her. He's sorry he hurt her, you know, he does honor her. He will never have any woman in her house, in her bed, you know. He wants to move to another city, you know. How about you? What do you think about it? What you think about us moving? You know, I love you and that little girl. I guess they had a baby girl together, you know, and he was like, I love you and I want. That was on Friday. Then on Saturday, old girl gonna post pictures of Apollo with some woman in the house, okay, and he all over the girl. The very next day, you know, she was just like, when he asked her if she wanted to move to a different city or whatever, she was like, we are no longer together. You can move wherever you want to. Okay? Quit calling me and asking me if I'm doing this, that, and the other. All right? So, yeah, Apollo and Sheren looks like it's coming to an end, but Apollo, you know, he still wants to be with his wife. He just wants to be with everybody else, too. Okay? And I guess while we're talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, you guys, real sad story. Actually, I thought that this was what it was, but I don't think it is. Yesterday, Peter Thomas had posted a post talking about how people need to make sure if they have businesses, like if you have your own business, that you need to make sure you pay your taxes, because, and it was just like, yeah, we know that. Okay, like maybe you didn't know that. We definitely know that the IRS, I mean, the saying is what? You can only stay black, pay the IRS, and die, right? Those are the only things that you know you gonna do in your life. So Peter was not paying his taxes. Peter was not paying the rent to these people, the buildings that he was renting. He wasn't paying his employees. He was not paying these people. And while I hate to see people go to jail, you know, when you do shit, it has consequences. You know, your actions have consequences. So even though it do make it hurt my heart to know that Peter's gonna be going to jail, it's just sort of like, hey, Peter, you not only just didn't do these people wrong, but it's so many stories of Peter not doing people in here in Atlanta. It floats around Atlanta like, you know, constantly, you know, about all the wrong that Peter has done to people. So, you know. Now, I think he is feeling quite remorseful over there now, of course. He hasn't reported for jail. I thought that he did report yesterday, but they're saying that he's not reporting until July, or maybe even later. But I think that he was just posting that, just kind of doing a little precautionary thing for people. But also, then he started talking about how he was just a black man trying to make it and trying to do this. And I was just like, well, Peter, you're not going to get sympathy on that, because you fucked over your black co-workers, you know, people that thought that they was going to be getting a check from you, people that thought that they were going to be getting rent from you, people that, like, and, you know, I'm sure a lot of those people was black too, you know, so we can't call the race card and be like, you know, they're just trying to keep a black man down. No, this is not the case, Peter. But yeah, it is sad that you got to go to jail, you know, but hey, Peter, you continue to be wrong, then that's what happened. Okay, so no, he's not in jail, but probably will be going soon. All right. Next story. Jen and Evelyn, they still going back and forth, child. They still going back and forth. Where's my fan? Yeah, I got a new fan. I'm about to start. Y'all see the glisten on my face? I'm about to start sweating. Clothes wet and shit. I got the air on and I'm still hot. Love this fan though, y'all. Ugh. Oh, oh, so fucking hot. Anyway, Jen and Evelyn are still going back and forth on the internet about Christian. You know, the girls apparently don't like Christian Gold on the show, or they always have some shit to say about Christian. And of course, Jen has gotten to the point where she's tired of them talking about her husband. And so now she didn't, apparently the man that Evelyn was engaged to on that show when she was on Queen's Court, Holly Robinson Pete and Rodney Pete's show, when she was over there and she got engaged to that guy, remember they ended up breaking up. But he's now re-engaged to somebody else. And Jen let her tell it. She said that she happened to bump into him while he was proposing to the woman at the restaurant. Now, I don't know how true or false that is, but she had posted it and was just like, congratulations. And then she put as a hashtag, dodged a bullet. Okay. So Evelyn saw that, and I'm sure Evelyn was like, bitch, what? Dodged a bullet? I know you ain't sit up here. Okay. So now Evelyn had to go on research. She had to go and get the child support paperwork for Christian that he has not been paying to the girl that he kidnapped, remember, and kept in the house and wouldn't let her leave and all that shit. Okay. So now Evelyn posted all that information and gave the phone number to the family violence advocate and all that shit on the post. So they're going back and forth. It's really, really silly. Them ladies need to let Jen do whatever Jen want to do. Jen is grown. And if Christian is who she chose to be with, then that's that. Get out that girl's life. If she's making a fucking mistake, she'll figure it out. And she probably is. But again, let it be on what she figure out. It ain't no sense in friendships falling out because you mad that she married a scam artist. Okay? Like, that's her life. I don't give a fuck if you that's your shit. I don't give a fuck if you marry a scam artist. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you, I told your ass before, afterwards. So anyway, child. That's that on that. Let's move on to the next story. Salt-N-Pepa are suing Universal Music Group, Salt-N-Pepa. A mama named them Sandra Denton and Cheryl James, legendary group Salt-N-Pepa. They are trying to get their catalog back. Okay, I guess on their contract, after a certain length of time, you're supposed to be able to get your royalties, and UMG has denied giving them, I'm sorry, not their royalties, giving them their catalog, and UMG has denied giving it to them. You know, and the paperwork was just talking about how, you know, they had transformed the genre of hip hop, you know, women rap artists, you know, them being some of the pioneers of them being like some of the pioneers of the female rap artists and all that, you know. They feel like UMG should have way more respect for them. I kind of feel like they should too. You know, they got these hits. And what does UMG really need with Salt-N-Pepa's catalog at this point? I mean, nobody is... I know they not making hand over fist money off of Salt-N-Pepa's catalog still. Give them girls their money. Give them their damn catalog. See, rich folks just don't... I mean, they just don't be right. They just don't do right, do they? Shit. And then lastly, you guys, I just decided to put the politics at the end of this, child. And it's not really politics. It's more Biden's cancer diagnosis. Was real saddened to hear that. Real saddened that they came out, said that Biden had been diagnosed with a very aggressive form of prostate cancer. They said that it was treatable, but it's not curable. So I mean, the man is what, 78, 79 years old, and he has an aggressive form of cancer. I'm sure that it will be very hard for him to go through chemo, even though he's probably going to do it. But, I'm sure all of this stuff is going to be taxing on Joe Biden. That's coming up. So, prayers up for him and all. But the question has been whether or not they knew if Joe Biden had cancer when he was running. Apparently he had a test where, they checked to see, make sure that you're in good health. And they said that he had a test and that he was in great health right before, the election cycle started. But then when he went and had that first debate with YSAP, then, everybody was able to see that, that's a problem. Okay, maybe he is not going to be able to do this job as much as we thought that he was going to be. So that's when everything happened and they put Kamala. But people are wondering, at least not people, I'm gonna say me. I am wondering if the Democrats tried to stage a coup and the shit didn't work out. Hear me out. I feel like maybe the Democrats thought that they would put Biden in office. I think that the strategy that the Democrats probably had was, we're going to have Biden run against YSAP because Biden was the only person that could really win against YSAP the first time. So we're going to have Biden run against YSAP again the second time. Biden is going to do it, and then he's going to still have Kamala there as his vice president, and then we'll make the announcement that he's ill and that he can't do the job any longer, and then we'll just kind of backdoor grandfather Kamala into that office. I really feel like that's what the Dems were trying to do. It did not work because Joe Biden went to that debate and we were able to see that he's a little bit more rickety and all, and maybe he ain't gonna be able to do this job, and so they had to like get together and change it up and do something else. And that was when they said, okay, Kamala's going to be the person. Remember, we didn't have no primary or nothing. They just put Kamala right in that place. And they said, this is going to be the one. And everybody went along. And we were like, okay, that's it. That's why it was so easy for everybody to switch over to Kamala. Because Kamala already was probably the person that they was going to put in that place. I really honestly feel like that's what happened. Shit didn't work. And that's why the Dems like almost done fell apart too. Okay, because they was trying some shit, it didn't work. Now the Republicans is falling the fuck apart over there. The Republicans are a mess. Y'all see now how they were able to justify that fucking plane that was given to the United States? Well, given to YSAP. And it wasn't even a gift. It's really a bribe. Okay? It is a bribe. Since when do we take gifts of this magnitude from other countries and then use it as Air Force One? Please. They're going to put this man in that huge ass plane. Now, of course, they got to retrofit it. They got to make sure that it's up to the standards of American presidents. So, that's going to be millions of dollars. Who do you think is going to pay for that? Us, taxpayers. Okay. Then what happens? Is that the Air Force One that continues on from presidents from now on? Because YSAP seems to be the type that's going to want to take the shit with him. Okay. And YSAP we already know that the nigga ain't going to even leave that fucking office in 4 years. It's going to be another January 6th. Okay. Because he is definitely not. If y'all thought he wasn't leaving the last time, his ass definitely ain't leaving this next time. Okay. It's going to be a whole repeat of what we had. I don't know if they're going to go to the Capitol, but what I'm saying is that he is not going to easily leave that place. Well, I was watching that. I was just like, I'm telling you, that man get to do whatever the hell he want to do. That Chuck Schumer was so upset, but Chuck Schumer, he said it on that stand, honey, what goes around comes around. The Republicans better wait. The Democrats can't wait until they get into majority again. It might not happen soon, but it's going to happen one day. And they going to remember this shit. Okay? But the Dems, yeah, everybody is just, both the Democrats and the Republicans, I done found out that they all fucked up. It's just whichever one you're going to decide kind of more likely aligns with the things, your values and shit that you have in your life. But they both ain't right. They both ain't right. Politics ain't right. And that's one of the reasons why I just don't even like to talk about it. Because it's just full of just bunch of bullshit. But yeah, I was sad to hear about Joe Biden because, you know, cancer is just no fun. It's no good. I hate to see when people have that, just seeing their bodies be ravished, and just to know that eventually he'll be at that point too makes me sad. So yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, they can cure it. I mean, we hear people, look at Jimmy Carter. Remember when Jimmy Carter had brain cancer? Honey, he knocked that damn brain cancer out and he was back to it. 90 fucking years old. That man lived to 100 years old. So, you know, it could work out for Joe Biden. I really hope it does. But, you know, I'm hoping that they can treat it and that he can still have some quality of life and that it can go on some time for him. Him and Jill can just be over there relaxing with their grandbabies. All right. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get on off of here. All right, you guys, I'm at Chipotle. So I'm just running here and get my food and then take it on back to the office and get this edited and up to you guys for bright and early on Friday morning. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. You guys be safe out there. No drinking and driving. I know you guys know that Ain't Rocky always got to just remind y'all. There's plenty of Uber and Lyfts. So please do not be jumping your ass behind no wheel. I'd like to see everybody here next week because I'm going to be bringing back Top of the Blogs on Wednesdays next week. Okay? So, because I'm doing that, I need everybody to be here too. All right? So y'all be safe. Did I already say we do this every single week? So make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time.